tonight on American Female Serial Killers, we have someone who I do have at least one other video about, Aileen Wuornos. And as you likely know by now, these take me a very long time, so if you can like, comment, share, copy link, let me know if this is on your For You page, anything to help me get views, I appreciate you to the fullest extent of the law. Okay, Aileen Carol Wuornos was born Aileen Carol Pittman on February 29th, 1956. She is one of two extremely prolific serial killers who were born on Leap Day. Richard Ramirez is the other one, though he wasn't born the same year. Aileen lived until October 9th, 2002, and she was an American serial killer. In 1989 and 1990, while engaging in street prostitution along highways in Florida, she shot dead and robbed 7 of her male clients. Wuornos was sentenced to death for 6 of the murders, and on October 9th, 2002, after 12 years on Florida's death row, she was executed by lethal injection. In 2003, the film Monster came out, which chronicled Wuornos' story from childhood until her first murder conviction. Stars Charlize Theron as Wuornos, a performance that earned her an Academy Award for Best Actress. Aileen was born in Rochester, Michigan on February 29th, 1956. Aileen's mother, Diane, was only 14 years old when she married Aileen's father, 18-year-old Leo Dale Pittman. Her older brother Keith was born on March 14th, 1955, about a year before Aileen was born. After less than 2 years of marriage and 2 months before Aileen was born, Diane filed for divorce. Thus, Wuornos never met her father as he was incarcerated at the time of her birth. Leo Dale Pittman was diagnosed with schizophrenia and was later convicted of sex crimes against children. He committed suicide by hanging himself in prison on January 30th, 1969. In January of 1960, when Wuornos was almost 4 years old, Diane abandoned her children, leaving them with their maternal grandparents, Lori and Britta Wuornos. Lori and Britta were both alcoholics, and they legally adopted Keith and Aileen on March 18th, 1960. At the age of 11, Wuornos began engaging in sexual activities in school in exchange for cigarettes, drugs, and food. She also engaged in sexual activities with her brother. She later said that her alcoholic grandfather had also sexually assaulted and beaten her when she was a child, and it's unclear if he did the same thing to her brother. Before beating Aileen, her grandfather would force her to strip out of her clothes. In 1970, at the age of 14, she became pregnant, having been raped by an accomplice of her grandfather. She gave birth to a boy at a home for unwed mothers on March 23rd, 1971, and the child was placed up for adoption. A few months after her son was born, she dropped out of school at about the same time that her grandmother died of liver failure. When Wuornos was 15, her grandfather threw her out of the house, and she began supporting herself through sex work and living in the woods near her old home. May 27th of 1974, at the age of 18, Wuornos was arrested in Jefferson County, Colorado for driving under the influence, disorderly conduct, and firing a .22 caliber pistol from a moving vehicle. She was later charged with failure to appear when she did not show up in court for these charges. Murders began on November 30th in 1989. She killed Richard Charles Mallory, an electronics store owner in Clearwater, Florida. The time that she was caught and convicted, Aileen was living with her girlfriend, Tyria Moore. Tyria ended up agreeing to elicit a confession from Wuornos in exchange for immunity from persecution because she was an accomplice in some of the crimes. As I said, Aileen was put to death on October 9th,